In honor of December 12th, which is National Poinsettia Day, we'd like to give you some fun facts and some care tips to have the most beautiful poinsettia throughout the holiday season. The first fact is that Joel Robert Poinsett was a botanist and a physician, and he introduced the poinsettia plant to the United States from Mexico. In Mexico, poinsettia plants are actually a perennial shrub, and they'll grow 10 to 15 foot tall. Another fact that we need to think about is that poinsettias are not poisonous. A study and research done at Ohio State University showed that they aren't poisonous, but they do have a harmful effect. So it's recommended to keep those away from your pets, just so that they don't cause any nausea, vomiting throughout the season. So care tips for our poinsettia plant is that we want to bring it indoors. We want to make sure that the temperature is above, ideally 65 to 70 degrees, but we want to make sure that we don't have anything that's around maybe a vent or an air duct, because that will dry our plant out very quickly. We also want to think that if we put it in an east or south facing window for that bright daylight, but we want it not to touch the window where it might become cold due to outside temperatures. To check our water levels, we want to make sure that we pull our plant out of our decorative outer foil, because that can be misleading on how much water that's actually in your plant. If there's water in the bottom of our foil, we want to make sure that we're not allowing it to sit in water that could cause root rot issues. So we can stick our finger in there, pull it out, and check to see if it's too wet. You can see there's a little bit still holding on, so there's enough moisture in our plant, and we can go ahead and put this in another container, or if we like our decorative foil, just make sure that we don't have water in the bottom of our decorative foil. Our poinsettias have these beautiful red colored bracts. These are actually not flowers, but the modified leaves of the plant. This is to bring pollinators in to pollinate our poinsettia plant. The actual flowers, or the cyanthus, are in the center part of the plant itself. That is the area that is going to actually be pollinated, but the bright color attracts pollinators to come to our plant to pollinate it. We want to make sure we're looking at on the underside of our bracts and our leaves. We're looking for any insects that might be up inside, like whiteflies or aphids, anything that might be hiding out on our bracts that would be causing issues. Everything looks very clean, very clear right now. There's no issues with any insects that are visible, so we're ready to go and just monitor that. Remember, poinsettias are in the spurge family or euphorbia. They're going to have this white milky sap that comes out. Latex on this milky sap is very much a skin irritant. It can cause eye irritants. It can be on your skin. It'll cause a rash. So you'll make sure that we're very careful whenever we're around our poinsettia plants. You can see it quickly comes out. Sometimes if someone brushes against the plant, they might break a stem, or if you're going to go ahead and prune the stem back, you want to make sure that you're just being careful with that milky substance. So one tip is to not fertilize until around New Year's Day when you start to see any new growth. You can continue to provide adequate light and water to prolong the bloom for several weeks. If your plant has become long and leggy, you can cut back about 5 inches to promote more compact growth. That can occur around Valentine's Day. The next big day that you should think about is going into St. Patrick's Day. Prune off any faded, dried parts of the plant, remove the leaves, and maybe add some more potting soil to it if you see roots are visible. The question we get a lot is, how can I make my poinsettia rebloom? For poinsettias to have those bright, colorful bracts that we enjoy throughout the holiday season, we need to start the process of excluding the light beginning in our fall equinox. This really is not an easy task. It requires excluding the light from the plant while keeping the plant healthy. This can be done by excluding it into a closet area or another out of your inner room that might be able to provide that less light intensity. The reduction in light prevents the plant from producing chlorophyll, and this changes the bracts, those modified leaves, to red, pink, or white, depending on the poinsettia variety.